Well, Wolf Research Senior Analyst Chris Casso is here. Since that stock is being impacted this morning, you might want to talk to the intel of it all. Did it, by the way, last week? Wow, did it get hit? Yes, it did. And you know, what happened with Intel was extremely peculiar to them. It had to do with their investment in manufacturing maintenance and their failure to recognize AI. Thus, it's rather contradictory to the reasons behind Nvidia's dominance, which has undoubtedly been a driving force behind the market. However, as you can see, it's not really separate because Intel's current predicament is partly due to their failure to capitalize on AI. However, it doesn't address the current state of Nvidia, which is still demonstrating a great deal of strength. Here's the question then. When you see the stock at this price on a morning like this, I wonder whether you realize that we were discussing a Warren Buffett-style sale on aisle 5. This is fantastic. Or my God, this is a falling knife, and it has a lot more to fall, are your thoughts? Correct. Additionally, I always appreciate the markets when they act in a way similar to what they did on Friday and today. I must interrupt with a recent incident that is incredibly entertaining. In China, McDonald's asks whether you would want an Nvidia keychain with your McFlurry, which costs $20. However, the Nvidia keychain is now sold out because they only made it available to less than 10,000 buyers. It is currently available for purchase at retail for hundreds of dollars. Elon responded to this by saying, "In that case, I'll definitely have some," adding that he was unaware it was taking place. Just so you know, if you want to purchase this Nvidia keychain, click the first link in the description. Although I'm not sure if this is a joint venture, both McDonald's and Nvidia have posted about it in China. In any case, this product could sell for thousands of dollars in the coming years. We don't have many opportunities to purchase rare treasures like these. We only have 100 pieces remaining, so hurry and click the link in the description. Returning to Nvidia, I believe the foundations remain very solid. It never reached a bubble-like valuation, so it isn't. As of right now, Nvidia's earnings for the quarter are $4. It's going higher than that, I believe. It's roughly a 25 multiple, which is a great deal for what is undoubtedly one of the market's most significant stocks. Therefore, when you consider, let's think even more widely now. Just take a moment to consider artificial intelligence, AI, as it is the other aspect of this, and we are examining Apple this morning. I understand that you don't actually cover this stock, but it's a sign of a bigger problem. We witnessed Warren Buffett sell his shares in that business. In addition to everything else that's happening, I believe that's probably weighing on Apple as well. However, do you think I will generate a kind of supercycle, if you will, in the coming year or two in terms of all hardware upgrades, or do you think a lot of chips will be sold to power the AI but in the cloud? You may actually divide it into 3 categories. The first is AI for Nvidia, which powers the models themselves, as you may know. It's the first thing you need, the first thing you should do, and it won't go away. The second section then discusses, smartphones, followed by PCs. Because of what Apple done, which states that you must have an iPhone 15 Pro or higher to run Apple AI. Whether you need it or not, we are much more optimistic about AI in smartphones. And the reason for that is that Apple controls the ecosystem. As for the PC side, we're less optimistic because, well, neither Microsoft nor Intel can, or it's not in Microsoft's best interests, to pressure you into purchasing a new PC, for instance. If you will, I shall present the bearish case. Unless you claim that the phone is a luxury item and that some people have enough money, it will become more difficult to afford if you believe that consumers will become weaker. Whether you believe there is a sufficient step change in the software and how soon it occurs is the second component portion. We were told last week that part of the Apple intelligence work might not begin until October, when the phone is released. We don't know if it will take 6 months, 3 months, 5 months, or longer. You could then be interested in 2025 or 2026. So how soon do people decide that they need to upgrade? If they don't, it might be a life-altering experience. Additionally, it's unclear if that cycle will occur with this iPhone this year or over time. Although we tend to believe that it takes time, I still wonder if it is a factor in the price of Apple stock. I am aware that you are not immediately examining it. Although we don't cover the stock, I believe that at this time, particularly in light of the recent pullbacks. Qualcomm and all the other chip brands that are part of the ecosystem aren't really representing the extended upgrade cycle that we've seen. I must interrupt one more to share a recent hilarious story. In China, when you purchase a McFlurry, they ask if you would want an Nvidia keychain, which costs $20. However, the issue is that their Nvidia keychain is already sold out because they only made it available to less than 10,000 buyers. It is currently available for purchase at retail for hundreds of dollars. In his remark, Elon stated that he was unaware of this and added, "In that case, I'll definitely have some." Just so you know, if you want to purchase this Nvidia keychain, click the first link in the description. Although I'm not sure if this is a joint venture, both McDonald's and Nvidia have posted about it in China. In any case, this product could sell for thousands of dollars in the coming years. We don't have many opportunities to purchase rare treasures like these. We only have 100 pieces remaining, so hurry and click the link in the description. If you require any other changes, please let me know. Let's discuss that name and other semis in more detail. Stacy Raskin from Bernstein is now joining us. It's always nice to have you around, Stacy. Now let's talk about Nvidia. This week, there was some news about delays that might have been caused by Blackwell's design flaws. What will it imply, and is it real? Yes, it appears real. Enough smoke is present to indicate that there is a fire. Others in the supply chain have confirmed it to us, and Supermicro made reference to it, so it appears to be genuine. It appears to be a minor design flaw rather than a serious one. It appears like they may have already resolved the issue. We may be delayed by 2 to 3 months. In actuality, this implies that those who were expecting actual volume shipments in calendar Q4 may instead see them in Q1. It's a minor push-out. Keep in mind that even Nvidia is not immune to this kind of difficulty. Hyperscale CapEx recommendations that are still increasing have taken this problem into account in the interim. Hopper, Nvidia's current design, is in high demand, and it appears that the company is stepping up production to tide things over until Blackwell, perhaps a quarter later, emerges in volume. I do not believe it to be a major structural problem. It's obvious that sentiment has affected the stock. Several factors have affected the stock, including a broad decline in attitude toward AI as people start to doubt ROI. Additionally, it is burdened by this problem. However, I don't believe Nvidia has changed structurally. We had a slight push-out, but I believe everything will work out. As you say, there is still demand. What about the stock itself? How enticing is it given its multiple? Even at its height, Nvidia was around 40 times projected profits, and the sell-side figures are probably too low. The company has never been that costly. It's actually not that expensive. 40 times is roughly its 5-year median. It's likely 30 times forward now. Even if a delay is announced, everyone is aware of it by now because we have decreased the risks heading into the back half. Since demand is still high, volumes are carried over to the following year, improving the appearance of that year. Here, the valuation is still appealing. Hey Stacy, Applied Materials reports next, although I know you don't cover this name. I do, in fact, cover Applied Materials. I made a mistake. As we move to the second half of the year, what are you keeping an eye on, and how much of an indication does it serve for the larger semi-space? There are several items. People are keeping an eye on China's robust semiconductor capex demand. We'll keep an eye out for that because Applied Materials is one of the few businesses that led their China mix to fall in the second half. Since many of their counterparts receive more than 50% of their revenue from China, they are less concerned about the China overbuild than others. By the end of the year, Applied anticipates this to fall to a low of 30%. Concern was also raised by Intel's recent capital drop to $26 billion. Although I had to increase my previous projections of Intel's capex for this year from $24 billion to $26 billion. My current estimate is $21 billion for next year. Thus, a slight decrease, but nothing alarming.